Hi guys, it's Blackie.
Hey Bear.
And this is Justin on the side over here hiding and a couple other people around.
How y'all doing?
We're at the my gathering at Geneva State Forest and I'm about hoarse. I can tell already. Make sure you speak up so they can hear us. But out here at the gathering, and me and Bear want to do a old Wayz right quick. Be able to post.
We're better to do it old Wayz than the gathering.
Yeah, gathering, why not? I haven't done a head count, but I figure we got close to 30 people. 25 to 30, easy. We got people in here from Minnesota, Michigan, Tennessee, Texas. This is Justin's first trip in from Texas.
I love every minute of it.
And we got big weather coming. The first one here this year, that award goes to Bill, and what's your last name again? Droom. Bill Droom. He was here, when, Saturday? We started on officially Wednesday. He showed up on Saturday. So he wins the early bird award. Yeah. Got some weather coming in tonight. So you're going to get to have your camp out and have a good storm to talk about. So now, this puck you're using. As I recall, we got that at the Blade Show.
Yes.
How do you like it thus far?
I like it. I'm still learning how to use it.
Yeah.
But it's a dual grid sharpening stone. I don't remember whose booth we bought it at. But it's got a fine grit on this side, it's got coarse on this side. And we'll do a good job.
I realized last night I pulled my Kukri out for something. I realized I hadn't sharpened it in a while. And I can always tell because the edge get a little dull. Well, it won't get dull, it won't be as shiny the edge. And that tells me that I hadn't sharpened it in a while. I've done a lot of cutting. So I just touch it up a little bit. Short mill bastard file works really good. And you can tell the hardness of this. Because you start here and you feel it cutting. And then you get right there and it quits cutting. You're in the sweet spot and it just skids on it. I'm more polishing that than actually cutting it. And then right here at the end it starts cutting again. That's because when they made that, they beat that up at leaf spring or plate beat. And then once they got it hot, they took a tea kettle and poured water on the edge to harden the edge. That's the reason that edge is 75 to 80 and the back's at 25. That lets it flex. So, what are we going to talk about this time?
Well, knife sharpening sounds like a good idea.
I thought we done a video on knife sharpening.
No,
We have not done a video on knife sharpening.
Y'all want me to be the guinea pig?
No, hold on a minute now. I thought, now hold on, wasn't that like always 4 or something
Y'all
like
talked
that?
about it, but y'all didn't do a hands-on
we've never
demonstration.
done anything hands-on.
Y'all talked the theory, but you didn't apply the theory.
Alright, walk up, show them how to use the puck. Do up close so they can see it, because they can't see it back here. Go ahead, you're on. Your new instructor will be Bear for this. And remember, y'all send in your things for the Bear's cookbook that's coming out soon.
From Blackie Thomas Printing.
No, it's going to be Bear's cookbook.
Anyway, this is the puck that I was talking about. That's the smooth side, or the fine side. This is the rough. And this knife, y'all seen this knife before. This is my K-bar that I carry. I wear up here on my hunting gear when I go out, my rig. I've named this knife Benny out of the Great Hat's uncle. And his Uncle Benny was in World War II and carried a K-bar. And it is a basic compass, range finder, and direction finder. We'll do another video on all the little intricacies, but you can see the compass. Let's see if we can get that set up for you. Yeah, you can see the compass right there. And the range markings here, and the sight to take a sight. You can see right there to take a sight. off the front end of the blade to get your direction, pick your target to walk to. But anyway, knife sharpening. I am not a knife sharpener. Let me put that disclaimer out first. It's a pretty decent edge that's on it. I haven't messed with it in a while. I'm probably going to wind up borrowing or appropriating his file to do some of the initial work on it. But just find that little sweet angle there about, well, I don't know, it's about 12 degrees. Just make you a circular motion and it will take the burrs out if you have any on the rough. Then come back in and you polish it with the smooth side. I don't want to put water on here because once you commit it to water, you have to water it every time. But that's the basics there. I'll turn it over to you here.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Somebody's gonna say, because I was touching this up, we'll do Kukri. Okay, the Kukri has multiple edges on it. This first section right here, this first 2 inches is your knife edge. It should be as sharp as a knife, because if I'm gonna do any precision cutting, it's up here at the hilt, that 2 inches. Where this first curve right here, it becomes not quite as sharp, but more of a little more of a robust edge. And then from right here to right here, this is the sweet spot. So that whenever you hit your target, boom, it's going past the target, the blade is, see, and slicing back toward you when it hits. As opposed to a straight edge, when I hit, it's just straight and narrow across. Notice it's just flat, straight across. Whenever I hit with a Kukri, whop, notice half of the blade is already hanging past it, and it slices back to you.
We found that out in old Wayz, what was it, 23, when we were trying to cut that grass.
Yeah, it just hooked in and cuts. Alright, so this is your sweet spot. Think of it like a hatchet edge right there. You want good, strong, robust, sharp, but not so sharp it rolls easily. And then this last peak right here, that's your heavy chopping edge. That's where I'm trying to bust something. You know, like split wood, something like that. It's this front edge. The last inch of blade is dull, intentionally. This is my digging edge. This is when I'm going to grab it like this and stab in dirt and pull toward me and actually dig, so it's kind of blunt. Also, whenever I'm going to use it as a draw knife, I'm going to hook my hand like this onto it. Notice that the edge does not touch me there, and use this section as the draw knife or the chopping section as the draw knife. And for fine work, I will push away from me and use the knife edge to plane wood and fine shavings away from me to get it down to the dimensions I need to. Trying to make like a dovetail or something fit together, I can use this as that kind of tool for that. The primary way I sharpen it is with a file. Now, you want to hold it. I put the blunt against me. I put my finger on top of the blade. I start here and I make one long flowing stroke. When I get to where my finger crosses the line, I stop, I go back down a half inch, and I do it again. Notice that when my fingertip gets to where the edge is, I pick up and go back. Do not do this. You're going to run that knuckle into that edge. Ask me how I know that. So do like that, like that, like that, like that. As soon as your fingertip crosses the line, you pick up and go again. When I flip over to the other side, I can turn the file around backwards if I want to and pull toward me, same idea, or I can, same way, push away from me, just like that. Either way, you sharpen it like you sharpen an axe or a hoe or anything else. It's just this section right here you spend special attention to and see if you can get it to as sharp as possible to use it for a knife edge. This is your chopping edge, this is your splitting edge, and this is your grubbing edge or digging edge. Okay, so we've talked about that. Now, axes in the field. Whenever you're going to carry an axe to the field, what tool do you bring with you to sharpen it?
File.
Me too, I use files. Files to me are the fastest way to top up an edge in the field. Pucks and stuff are good for refining, but actually the file will keep it in service a little longer, to me. Okay, one of the first things you do is make sure you got a straight edge and it ain't rolled. I've done it like this on a knife before and look under the gap where it's got chopped or bent in it, and you'll never get it straight sharp because there's a dip in the blade where it's actually leaning one side. So always look at it edge on and make sure your edge is straight. Then put it on there and put it on the edge of the blade, onto the stone, and lay it down flat. And when you look at it, make sure they ain't light gapping. That'll tell you your edge is bent. You can straighten it out, but trust me, it's hard to get a blade straight whenever you got crooks in it. In fact, most people don't realize that most Swiss Army knives, the main blade's bent.
It has to be to fit in.
It has to be to fit.
They've got so much.
Pull it out and look at it, it's actually twisted. Okay? Now you can do a circular motion. You want to put the blade flat. You notice there's a little bit of gap right there. Tip forward until that gap disappears. You should have a little gap back here in the back about the thickness of a dime or a penny. Okay? Put it down like that, and I like to push away from me. Like that, where I'm trying to slice a thin sliver of stone off. I can control it real well like this. Now you're going to see black form up on the stone. What that is carbon. A little is good. It acts like a slurry and helps polish the edge. A lot is bad. It rolls and acts like a lubricant and keeps you from cutting. Once you start seeing it built up, wipe it off on a paper towel or a handy old pants if you got that. And start again. I'm going to do like 5 or 6 strokes like this side. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go the opposite way. This time I'm going to pull it toward me. The advantage of this puck, you see you got the finger place. Making sure that your hand is well below so you're not going to cut yourself. Okay? Pull back to you. Now once you get it sharp, start doing long. Notice I'm doing shorts. Once you get it sharp, you want to do longs. You want to take it and pull. And those little short chops, you want to blend them all together to one nice long smooth blade. And yeah, my uncle, he taught me how to use the butt of a K-bar to navigate with. Use it like a clock, use it like a compass. You can also feel as you're cutting and hear the sound will change. Like right there. And here it goes like slide, and then there's like a grind. That's this edge right here is a little thicker right there at that edge. So the angle's changing. So I'm going to push away from me. And try to plane that down even. Take the other side, do the same thing. Yeah, it's getting there now. I can hear the sound change. You want to keep it as even as you can, left to right. Now I know this stone isn't going to take off a lot of material, so I don't have to bear down a lot. See, it's already getting black on it. So take the pants leg and get it off. Also, round stones, rotate the stone every so often so you don't just cut a groove down the middle of it. Adequate, but not exceptional. Let's look at this. Hang on to that a minute. well, not blunt, but it's a little thick. Right through that edge.
I know what I'm going to be adding to my kit.
Well, now, okay, this requires a little bit of finesse and experience. I watched my granddaddy and a lot of the old men in my family do this, and I screwed up a whole lot of knives till I learned how to do it. But the object of the game is a file only cuts one way. Whenever they're trying to hone a kitchen knife or something like that, they do just like this and sit with it on their knee. Do it like that. The sound of it. There's a sound it makes when the edges get thinner. Well, keep talking. Don't let me do all the work now. Come on. You know, I think he comes up with these ideas just to get me to sharpen his knives. Go ahead.
Guilty.
Yeah.
For those of you who were not able to make it to the gathering this weekend, you're missing a treat. Very rarely, but occasionally, he'll do a fall, but this is every year. This is last of March, 1st of April time frame. If there's any way that y'all can come out and join us, it would be worth the trip. It's just good folks gathering together and sharing. Everybody teaches everybody something. There's
We got a trade blanket and everybody's bringing up stuff and throwing it on the trade blanket saying just get whatever you can for it. Trading people out of stuff and etc. So we're trying to, you know, spread the love a little bit, so to speak.
and as kooky as it sounds, there really is a lot of that here.
Smell the salt.
Yeah.
We got that front coming
There's-
up. We're smelling salt.
Yeah,
water.
there's a storm front coming up off the Gulf this afternoon and tonight. We're getting a lot of that salt air off the Gulf. From where we are right here, it's only about 40 miles to water. It's not far at all.
Anything from town? Anything from town?
I'm good, brother. Thank you.
All right, anybody else?
No, I'm good for now.
All right.
Appreciate Chris going to town. We're lucky we got a small town close by, so you can go over to the convenience store and get ice or whatever. And then you got a town a little further down that's got a nice grocery store. And if you need Walmart, it's about 14 miles that way, and they got a full super center. So we got access to stuff. That's a big help.
Yeah, there's a full super center that way, and there's a smaller Walmart, almost mini Walmarts this way. So we're covered.
Well, that's close. Not great, but it's close.
Oh,
I have to have my big stone set to get it any better.
Yep, that is exactly where I need it.
Well, you don't want to sharpen a knife that's going to be a field knife too sharp. A lot of people make the mistake of, oh, I wanted a razor blade. Razor blade is very thin steel, and it's very easily damaged and bent from one side to the other. So if you have to bear down on a gnarly piece of oak, trying to shave a piece off of it to watch the edge go wavy, where a more robust edge, and that's what I carry on my knife all the time, is a robust edge. I can do light chopping with it, I can bear down, and my edge don't roll. So my knife will stay sharper longer than the guy with the razor blade.
Yeah, it's, you know, what's the old saying about the sharper the wedge, the harder it is to cut?
Yeah.
A broader edge is a better cutting tool than a really thin one.
Yeah.
Just like he was saying.
Well, I made that mistake when I was, I don't know, 12, 14. I got one of those fillet knives. And I razored edged that puppy up. I mean, it cut air. And my granddaddy and I were going fishing, and of course we caught a lot of cats, and we were going to clean it. And I was all gung-ho. And he picked up that knife and he said, well, that's nice and sharp. Did you bring the sharpening stone? I went, no. He said, Okay. I didn't get through 10 catfish and that thing's so damn dull I couldn't cut nothing.
You couldn't cut butter with it.
No, it rolled it and it dulled it. Whereas his knife, which started out and you felt of it and felt like it's not him, he was still cutting catfish 40 catfish later.
Yeah.
So I learned, he said, you need a robust edge, it'll cut and it'll hold an edge a lot better. And that thin razor edge, it wears out too fast, especially when you're cutting something tough.
I've seen my dad, when we would be hunting or whatnot, his knife and dull, he'd go over to the window, roll it down,
Yeah.
Use the wind,
and he would hone it that way, and he would keep going. We were cutting a deer, and that happened, and he's like, oh, I don't have my stone, so he walked over there and rolled it down. So watch me, boy, and he went to.
Yeah. Bottom of a coffee cup is a
Yes.
glaze. You can use it.
It's like a
Take
ceramic
the lid
sharpener.
off of a commode
Yeah,
tank and turn it upside down.
Yes.
You got a big long one.
yeah.
Yeah, roll the lid over on the back of a commode. You got that edge there. That'll sharpen a knife too.
Yeah, but it makes your wife upset when she comes in the kitchen and you're using the commode to sharpen her kitchen knives.
Well, what she doesn't know won't hurt you.
Well, yeah, what she don't know doesn't hurt you at all. That's right.
Stove will take care of that heat, kill it.
Know when not to tell anything.
Silence is golden.
Duct tape is silver.
Well, that was always one of the other wind's coming in now. That was one of all the things where before the holidays, usually in late October, there would be the call from the aunts or whatever wanting to get their kitchen knives sharpened. Because we're going to have Thanksgiving and all, and oh, I need you to come sharpen it. So I'd get sent over there to sharpen all these kitchen knives.
That's because you did it so good.
Yeah, well, I learned, being ignorant can be an advantage. Because my stepbrother and cousins were not being sent to sharpen knives and axes and crap. I was. But like I mentioned in that video, the Christmas thing, where my uncle gave me a oyster knife, and I walked over and handed it back to him because I knew I didn't want to learn this skill. Oh no, because Super Bowl's coming and we need you to come down here, boy. I'm not going to sit here and shuck 50 of you and your beer drinking buddies, all of you going, come on boy, hurry up, I need more, come on boy. I'd never get an oyster and I'd be shucking 50 pounds of oysters. I ain't doing it. Same thing with sharpening knives. Whenever my wife and I got together, I sharpened our knives, and then next thing you know, her mama's knife showed up. And I told her, I said, honey, I will sharpen these, but this is the end of it. You will never volunteer me for your mama, your cousin, whatever. Not doing it. So I sharpened her mama's knives, and not a week later, her mama called up and told me to come pick up 3 of her next door neighbor's knives to sharpen them. I'm sorry, I ain't got no sharpening stuff. Oh yeah, that's one of them nice ones. Good edge. Oh yeah. Well, you got it exactly right. It's got just enough tooth to it. It'll bite, but at the same time, if you touch yourself, don't automatically let you go.
And when I first bought it, it had a point on the back of it, point on
You did good. That's good.
Just for giggles.
Sure.
That's my $3 everyday Walmart
Yep.
piece of junk. I just use it for everyday things. I've been practicing with it so I don't mess up the good ones.
That's like this one right here.
How is it?
This is a junk knife I bought at my pharmacist, and it's one of the best cutting knives that I've ever owned.
I had a Frost Bowie type knife one time I picked up at GENEVA for $14.
Is that one of those with the faux elk handle?
Yeah, and had a fake back edge on it and everything, and you would think that it was absolutely a piece of junk. Well, it was not sharp at all when I got it, but it was actually good steel. It was crappy plastic handles, but it was good steel, and it held an edge real well. So,
How is that one?
it's okay. Just want to true up the edge a little for you is all.
I appreciate. I have battered that knife more times
It's
than
just a
you.
good working knife.
I've carried it for 5 years.
Remember at Walmart and Sporting Goods, they had the $1 little black handle, plastic handle, stainless steel blade pocket
I
knife.
almost bought one of them, but we clearanced them out and I didn't get a chance to buy one of them.
They were $1 a piece, And I picked up, a lot of people come in and they needed work knives because they worked in, you know, roofing, insulation or whatever. And I say, buy 10 of them, put them in the toolbox. Pull it out, go to cut. When it breaks, throw the thing away, pick up another one. It's like a disposable box cutter, but it's a buck.
Lovely.
And would work just fine because, like I've talked about many times in the videos, all the old men I knew had 2 pocket knives. There was the really good pocket knife.
Dad carried 2.
That was in the left pocket, and then there was the junk hardware store pocket knife in the right pocket. Whenever you were having to strip wire off of battery terminals and crap, that was the cheap one. And when you had to cut that fish hook out of you, that was the good knife.
This is my good knife. This is an old timer that my brother bought me when I turned 21. I just turned 58, so it's been riding in the pocket that long. But it's a good knife. It's done probably anything that you can think of.
Remind me later, I'll show you the 2 I got there with my old.
These old 3-blade Stockman. You got the clip blade right there for general cutting, piercing, stuff like that. Then you got this blade. A lot of people don't understand that blade, but it's for cutting up close. Notice I can't stab myself easily with it, and that's where like I got to go underneath. It's also used for notching. A lot of farmers turn it this way and you'd hook an ear and notch ears and stuff like that. Without that thing as an animal jump, you didn't stick yourself, see, so it was a pull to you.
I amazed my granddaughter last week. She came to me and she said, "Granddaddy, I need my pencil sharpened."
Yeah.
So I pulled out that knife and that blade.
Yeah.
And I put an edge, I put a point on the end of that pencil that was as good as any pencil sharpener at school.
And then that's the pen blade, which if you notice, the serpentine shape of the 3-blade, when you pull that blade out, it actually turns it into a pretty good whittling jack. And that makes it really good because the way it fits in the hand like that, that blade becomes your best whittling blade. That was at least one all the men did.
Yeah.
It's not a sheep's foot. What's the name of that blade? That flat nose blade.
I think it is a sheep's foot.
Ah, I thought it was something else. Spay blade.
Okay.
Spay blade. I was thinking neuter. No, it's spay blade. That's called a spay blade. It's almost like a Norwegian, but that's what that's for. This was designed
It's
for
also
farmers.
good for cutting calves.
Yeah, exactly what it was
Castrating
used
calves.
for. It's reason to call it a Stockman. It was for cutting calves. That's the reason these 2 blades go that way. And the way they're set up, if you look at it, it's a down swipe, and it gave you more power for the cut down, which they're cutting ears, they're cutting calves, etc. But that pen blade, the way it is, its shape, it is more for the upcut. So I know a lot of guys use them. They were using it to cut ears and notch ears. They used a pen blade because of the way it fit in the hand.
This blade is also, I've seen lots and lots of old men cut quids of tobacco,
Oh yeah.
plugs of tobacco with those, and I cannot confirm nor deny that that one's been used for that purpose. But,
Oh yeah.
and I did want to go into a little detail about Benny.
Sir, I remember one year
Benny,
I was down here. We can't
yeah, like I said, it's named after Blackie's uncle,
There's like a series
Benny Thomas, who was in the Marine Corps during World War II, and he was an artillery spotter. When you're out in the woods in the northern hemisphere, if you'll just face the sun, the direction of the sun, you're facing south. So it's not hard using this rudimentary compass. You can see I've got the yellow. I've got yellow marked for my north, and then I've got my east, my south, and my west. If you take it and orient the south toward the sun, then behind you is north, and you can adjust accordingly if you want to navigate north. But let's just say we're going to navigate south. Okay, there's our south mark. We're going to orient it up in the direction of the sun, which is that way. And after that, we know that basically that's south. Well, right here, and this is the way that Uncle Benny did it, right here there's a little a V-notch cut into the tang. Okay, that's your rear sight. It's like sighting a rifle. The tip of the blade up here is the foresight, like on the foresight of a rifle. And you hold it up, you put the butt, hold on a second. You sight it up here like this, like you're aiming a rifle. And you look through the notch and across the front sight at your target, where you want to navigate to. And then you just go to that target. Now it's not precision, okay? You're not going to get precision, but it will get you where you need to go. Like Blackie's always saying, you want to navigate the box. Well, sight in your target. Say there's a rock that's out there. Walk to that rock, and then take your shot again with your south. Make sure you're still pointed in the right direction. Turn the knife up, and go to your next target. And you're just going you're hopping from spot to spot. Now, right here on the spine of the blade, adjust that a little bit. I don't know if you can see it real well. Get it to focus. There's 3 notches cut into the spine. I've cut 3 notches. And the top one is a 6-foot man at 300 yards. The middle one is 6 feet at 200 yards. And the bottom one is 100, 200, and the last one is 300 yards. So I can take the knife and extend it out and set up using this piece as my base, the tang, using the tang as a base. I can tell if that person that's coming toward me is 300 yards out, 200 yards out, or just 100 yards out. It's real easy. But this is, like I said, this is Benny. And Benny is a memorial to Blackie's Uncle Benny, who was a Marine Corps spotter during World War II, artillery spotter and scout. But we're going to do a more detailed explanation on my channel in the future. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little heads up on what's coming.
Guys, we're probably going to make this one a little bit short because we got stuff to do. We're going to...
We got company.
We got company, yeah. And I've been up here all day in my tent. I need to get out and go see some people. But we're going to go to the surplus place on Saturday, and I'm getting a couple of volunteers to go with me today so that tomorrow they will go to the surplus place this afternoon, and then they'll stay in camp tomorrow to guard everybody's stuff while we go to the everybody else goes to the surplus tomorrow. That's the game plan, so we need to get that going. Anything else you want to add, brother?
No, sir, we're good.
Guys, this has been kind of short, but we really appreciate you watching, and there'll be more stuff coming up. So till next time, I'm Blackie.
And Bear.
Wishing you safe journeys. See y'all later.